Welcome back, Chris Camozzi here to MMAOddsBreaker, getting ready to face off with Joe Riggs. UFC Fight Night 83 here on February 21st. What's the date today? Today is February the 12th. And As far as you know, Joe is still fighting.
Yeah. So far, so good. I kind of expected there to be a change somewhere in there because I've had Joe as an opponent for quite a while, actually, probably more notice than I've ever had before. So, I'm happy that nothing's changed and it looks like everything's a go.
Joe does get hurt. He does pull out. Obviously, he had that incident where he shot himself in the leg or hand or something, and when he was cleaning his loaded weapon. I was the smartest tool in the toolbox, but does that go into your training? Like, this is the guy I have in front of me, but sometimes we face opponents that do get hurt and do pull out quite often. Is there some of your training that is kind of like mental-wise, be prepared for the short notice opponent?
Yeah, definitely. I was ready for it. We didn't start game planning until a little bit later because of that. But like I said, I had a ton of time for preparation. So we spent the first probably month or so just still working on just stuff that I need to work on in general, no matter who I'm fighting. And then as it got closer and closer, then we started working specific things for Joe.
And for Joe, it's easy to find a game plan for. He's got a ton of fights. He's 41-16, so there's a lot of footage on him. It's very easy to write a game plan. How hard was it to actually implement and get your body prepared for that game plan?
Not hard at all. Mark, my coach, was a coach on Fight Master, so he's real familiar with Joe and his style, and Mark is very analytical about things. So he had a whole notebook of stuff from the show. He keeps notes on everything, and he brought them all back up. And obviously that was a while ago, and Joe should be better than that now because we're always training. But at the same time, tendencies are tendencies, and I think we've got Joe figured out pretty well.
Joe is definitely improved with the time off and having to rehab some injuries. Like, he's definitely gotten better, but his style really hasn't changed that much, has it?
No. I think his style is his style. I think from start to finish in his career, it's been about the same. We know what he's looking to go in there and do. He's looking to go in and land a big punch, and that's his thing.
Does that make it more difficult or easier to get ready for a guy like that who's got a good wrestling background, so he's going to force it onto his feet as much as possible, and all he's going to try and do is hit you with a big heavy shot at some point, and because it's Joe, he's going to catch you at some point. Is a question of, do you block it all the way, or is it a glancing blow? That's the only question, because he's going to throw it regardless and hit something.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it. I fought a lot of really, really good strikers. A lot of guys that were considered power hitters before too. And, it's not my first go around either. I've had a ton of fights. I kind of see this fight with him, with his previous run of fights and injuries and stuff. I think, he's going to look to eventually take me down once I start tagging him because I'm a lot longer than him. Yeah. I think I use my reach and distance a lot better than he does, and I think it's going to frustrate him and that he's going to look to take me down.
I was actually talking to James Krause, a couple days ago about the exact same thing, where he's very tall for his weight class. He's 6'2", but he's like, it doesn't matter. I could fight a guy at 185. If that guy is an inside short fighter, I'm going to win the outside battle the entire time, and that guy's going to win the inside battle the entire time. It's the question where you put it. You're a very long, rangy fighter on your feet, where Joe's very much inside. He likes being inside that pocket and using short hooks and short lefts to kind of put it. Do you have to, because he is kind of aggressive but doesn't really advance forward too much, is there part of your game plan is being able to back away and cut angles on him to keep him confused? Or is it going to be more of a situation where you're going to sit right in front and pull him out of the pocket?
We've definitely implemented a lot of different footwork stuff I haven't done before. It's been working really well for me in sparring and stuff for the past month and a half, and it's been awesome. It's kind of like turn over a new leaf with stuff I do now, and it's cool. I mean, I'm hitting way different angles than I ever have before, using a lot more footwork. And I think if he's inside, then I'm going to make him pay for it by either putting him on his back or clinching him up and landing knees. Otherwise, he's going to be at my distance, at my range, and I don't think he'll be able to hit me.
The one flaw I've always said that you have is that your footwork just isn't caught up with your hands. Like, your hands are so much better than your feet, and you're kind of in the middle sometimes of your punches. It's great to hear that Marcus finally got through to you and, like, look, you get your footwork down. And I'm glad it's working in sparring because that's the big thing is like you have no way to really prove it. You know, hitting mitts with coach is one thing. Then cracking somebody in sparring is like, oh, okay, now I get it. Do you remember during practice, like that first time you were like, you hit somebody with a particular technique or a particular foot motion that actually finally worked, and you're like, did you stop and go, oh, it works? Hey, coach, it works? Or was it just like internally you're like, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again and just kept working?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Once, you know, I hit some of this stuff one time, one day sparring, like you said, it kind of just clicked one day. And then now I've been hooked on it since. So I think that's going to throw a wrench into a lot of Joe's plan because I'm going to fight a lot different than I have before. And it's been working for me and I'm sticking to it. And I've got so many training partners here at Factory X that I've got plenty of guys that can mimic Joe, but I also have, you know, we have glory guys and everything. I got great strikers to train with and all this stuff is working on them as well. So I think you're going to see a lot of different stuff from me.
Wow, and you guys are ramping up too, because you know with your camp, of course, with Joe Warren's in there, you're in there, your brother's in there. Like it's getting ramped up relatively quickly because a lot of you have just had fights or about to have more fights. Like your camp is really on a big tear, about to go on a big terror run right now. Do you feel that kind of not pressure, but do you feel that energy when you walk into the room now because everyone's about ready or just finished up fights on their own?
Yeah, we were just talking about it the other day. Everybody's hungry, so it makes it fun. You know, Dustin Jacoby's in the Glory tournament, and the winner gets a title shot. Brian Foster's here getting ready to fight Gaethje for the World Series title. Kraus has been here training for the same card as me. Mm-hmm. There's so many guys getting ready. Gilbert Smith's getting ready for the co-main event for Bellator.
Yeah.
So it's competitive in here, man. Somebody said the other day after sparring, somebody I think from the open class or something was saying, man, like coming in here and watching you guys go is like watching fights on a Saturday night. You know, because we're not taking it easy and we're going for it. You know, everybody is getting ready for themselves. They're not trying to prepare each other. So that makes it even better. It's like a fight every Friday.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. I'm glad you guys are doing so well up there, especially as a team. And having Mark as a coach, he's such a great coach, but he's in an area and he's not very vocal. Like a lot of coaches are kind of a little bit more boisterous about themselves. Mark's kind of like, I'm just following tape and I'm just going to go to another fight and I'm going to watch some more tape and take some more notes. That's all I'm going to do. And no one really knows much about him. But he's a really, really good coach. I got to know him obviously on Fight Masters with, and it was incredible to watch him work. Like he's a really good coach. So I'm glad that everything's up there and it's working well.
Yeah, it's been great, man. He's really turning it up too because he's got so many guys to prepare for big fights now that I can just see the wheels turning in his head, and he comes up with new stuff all the time that he walks in and he's like, let's try this, and it works great. So
perfect. All right, Chris, thanks so much, man. Have a great rest of your training camp. Good luck, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Awesome. Thank you.